Hello everybody, welcome to another top 5 video. This time we're doing a top 5 dragon type Pokemon. Now, as you may know, I have not been keeping up to date with my party lock. That is because I am currently working on doing some, yes I know, it's a Nuzlocke challenge and I'm training. But I gotta train a little bit because every Pokemon trainer's gotta train. Alright, so today we're doing the top 5 ground types as you saw on the tag. So, let's get started. Number 5 is a real shocker because it is Gligar. Now, most people would think I'd choose Gliscor because it's the evolved form, but I actually never have used Gliscor. I've used Gligar in some of the Pokemon games I've played, like Pokemon Coliseum. It was in, I think, it was actually I think I'd used it both in XD and Coliseum. But I mean, yeah, average stats, good things for flying, and the typing's cool because it's ground flying, which means electric is void with the flying type. It also means ice can kill it, 4 times weakness. The stats are not the best, but as you can tell from a first level Pokemon, the stats are never going to be the best. I mean, but it has potential in defense and also attack. So obviously, Ligar is a physical attacker. It shows that with Earthquake. Here, it's a ground move. It can learn acrobatics, which is really powerful. Poison Gem, we added and Night Slash and Stone Edge, a bunch of different bunch of different types to use for coverages, and a lot of other things. So let's continue on. Number 4 actually is 2 Pokemon because I can't break up the set. But I'm gonna go with the final evolution, which is Quagsire. So this is Quagsire and Wooper. Now I love these 2 Pokemon because I fell in love with them. And I fell in love with Quagsire in Coliseum. And I used it on my team because it was such a bulky Pokemon. If you look here, it shows you how bulky this thing is. Look at its HP bar is 95, really high. Also, it's not weak to electric type moves, but 4 times weak to grass, which is kind of a problem. Speed's kind of crap, but it's got decent stats all the way around as long as it's hit by a physical move. It does well. It's got some good moves for coverage, like fighting type moves in there, Ice Punch, Rock Slide, and then of course your water moves that are going to be physical. You can easily take this thing out, so you can like amp up its speed or whatever you want to do with it. And Wooper is just so darn cute. I always used it. I always caught one at least every time I went to the marsh in Pastoria City and the Pokemon Pearl and Diamond games. Alright, moving on to number 3. Again, we're going to stick somewhere. Since we're talking about Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, we're going to stick with that generation and go with Gastrodon. Now, personally, I prefer the East Coast form, just because that's me. And if you noticed in my, if you noticed in my, you watch any of my NPL League series, you saw that I used a East Coast Gastrodon was my team name, and this guy was my mascot. Now, I really don't like Gastrodon is not really my favorite Pokemon, but it's competitively viable. It's really good with that 111 base stat. Does a better job than Quagsire. I hate to say that, but it does. Speed's still atrocious, but it's got good, decent stats to back it up. And it's also a special attacker, not a physical attacker, but you can't make it either. And it obviously shows that with some rock moves, poison, ground, water, of course. And I mean, it's just such a great Pokemon, and it helps early in the game to get one, especially, and it helps you throughout the game because you have a lot of ground type Pokemon you have to fight, and having a water type and a ground type is a good match for those. And again, the stats are great, amazing. The shiny form sucks, but that's a shiny form, and most shiny forms suck nowadays. Well, I don't know what the pink one is. Oh yeah, it sucks too. I prefer East Coast better. I just prefer East Coast. No shiny, no shiny. All right, whatever. Number 2. So between the 1 and 2, these were some of the hardest choices I had to make ever, choosing who gets to be on the top spot and who doesn't. But I finally made my choice and I went with Swampert. Now Swampert is just regular Swampert, not Mega Swampert. But what the thing is? I really like the shiny form. It's pink. It actually works pink, and I actually really like it. And I have one now in my party lock, and I really like Swampert. It's one of my favorite um, Final Evolution starter Pokemon. I mean, I love I'm a Gen 3er, but most people are Gen 1ers. Yeah, so the first game I got was Fire Red and Leaf Green. That started in Gen 3, so I'm used to most of the Gen 3 Pokemon being in my life, as well as I also started my second game, which was Emerald, with Swampert, and it was really cool. So now moving on to number one, and before we do, I'd like to shout out Sandshrew Sandslash, Keybone, and Marowak for honorable mentions, and we're gonna go with number one, which is Nidoqueen, because I love Nidoqueen. It's so cool, and it's got good abilities, good stats, and everything. And I'm sorry I'm rushing through this, but I really want to get done with this video. But well, yeah, because I'm pretty sure something's about to go down. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and please comment your favorite ground types, and subscribe and like. And until next time, I'm Chaos May 006. Smell you later.